If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're meant.
Hey YouTube, today I wanted to stop by and make a TTC type video for you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to use ovulation predictor kits or ovulation tests. And I am going to give you results on live ovulation tests that I'm taking today. Let's talk about what an ovulation test does. So an ovulation test looks for your LH or your luteinizing hormone surge. And this hormone is usually released from your body about 24 to 48 hours before you actually ovulate. So when you get a positive ovulation test, that means you want to do that baby dance that day, the next day, and maybe a couple of days after that. Before you start taking ovulation tests, because you don't want to take like 31 ovulation tests and just be peeing on things all month. I mean, unless that's your thing, then go for it. But you want to know the length of your cycle. I don't ovulate till late. You may not ovulate till later as well, or you may ovulate earlier. So before you start trying to conceive with ovulation predictor kits, it's a good idea to go ahead and just track a couple of your cycles and see, you know, number one, where are you ovulating? And then number two, like, how long are your cycles actually? I'm gonna post a link below in the description that shows you, starting with a 21-day cycle, about when you should expect your ovulation. That table goes from a 21-day cycle all the way to a 39-day cycle. If your cycle is any longer than that, I highly recommend talking to your OB or your regular doctor, because you might have something going on. With ovulation testing, it's a little bit different than taking a pregnancy test. So when you take a pregnancy test, the kind that has the 2 lines on it, if you get any kind of second line, that is a positive, right? Even if it's super, super faint. Ovulation tests are a little bit different. So you need the test line to be as dark or darker than the control line. And the control line is the strip that always comes up first. It's dark and pink no matter what. And then the test line is what you are needing to match to your test. I'm going to insert a photo here. These are a progression of someone's monthly ovulation tests, and you can see that they start very light when they begin their LH testing to very dark when they get their positive. So today I am going to take 3 ovulation tests for you guys. I'm going to take a first response digital ovulation test, and so this one won't give me any lines. It'll just say yes or no. I'm also going to take a typical first response ovulation test, and this one will give me the 2 lines. Hopefully there will be any kind of second line on there. I don't know if there will be. We'll all find out together. And then this brand is just an internet cheapy brand. It's called Bobby, but these actually worked really, really well for me. When I conceived Harrison, this is the brand of ovulation test that I used. So before I dip my tests, I just want to show you guys what they look like out of the package. So this is the Bobby cheapy test, and right here you can see, right there where my finger is, you can see that it has a maximum line. So you want to make sure that you don't dip your test in any further than the maximum line. This is my digital first response ovulation test, and you can see that it's a little bit easier to use. So you just dip this test strip into the urine and just make sure you don't go any further than that. And then this is my first response sort of standard ovulation test. It looks a lot like their pregnancy test, the old school ones without the bent handles. And all I'm looking for is 2 lines again on this one. Okay, you guys, so I'm waiting for these ovulation tests to be done. They are dipped and ready to go, but they all have different time limits on them. Weird. So the digital first response, I only need to wait 3 minutes on that one. And it's actually working right now. So I'll show you what it should be looking like while it's working. So there's a little clock there, and that clock should be flashing while it's working. So we're waiting a couple minutes. My first response The regular test is working, it's thinking, and I have to wait 5 minutes for this one. This is just where I read the 2 lines. And then my Bobby strip is also working, but that one requires 10 minutes. Holy moly. So as these appear done, or as they're, finishing up, I will show them to you guys. So hang tight, I'll be right back. All right, you guys, so my first response digital ovulation test is done already, and you can clearly read my result. It is a big fat no. I am nowhere near ovulating, which I already knew. So if this test were positive, it would have a plus sign and a yes on it. All right, you guys, my first response, I guess you call it the standard ovulation test, the non-digital variety, is ready to go. So this is what my test looks like. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's like the tiniest sliver of a line, which means I might have some LH in my system, but definitely that is a negative result. So if this test were looking positive, I would have 2 lines that were that same dark pink color. Does that make sense? So this is a negative result. All right, you guys, my Bobby test is ready. So let's check it out. I'm gonna put it up as close as I can and make sure that this thing focuses. But I don't really see anything, not even like a sliver of a line on this test. In person, it looks like there might be like a tiny little bit of color there, but I can't tell if it's like an indent or if it's color. So those are the 3 tests that I tried for my body today. Just because something works for me though doesn't mean necessarily that it's gonna work well for you. I have lots of friends who use lots of different ovulation predictor kits because, bodies are different. So this is my experience with these 3 different types of ovulation tests, but you be the judge and try some out. I highly recommend purchasing like a couple of different ones, especially the cheap ones from Amazon that you can get like 100 of them for like 20 bucks, and try those out and just see how they go for you. I hope you all learned a lot about ovulation testing today, and thank you so much for stopping by Beans and Monkeys. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and if you want more videos like this, hit that subscribe button below. Thank you guys for all the love. I'm watching this channel grow, and I'm just so thrilled that you're all here. And by the way, have fun today.